he basically shot dude and turned around and looked at me with a rifle in his hand and said, "You need to help me right now."
What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. So you guys know I like bringing guests on. I actually talked to this guy like 8 months ago to do an interview, and life just shows up and things happen. People get busy. But today we're here and we're going to bring it to you raw. He's done his time in California, so you already know the politics there. So it's going to be a crazy story, I'm sure. He's been through a lot. If you're new and you're tuning in, that's the kind of stuff I talk about on this channel. The biggest thing is I want to expose the corruption. And I already know that California Department of Corrections got tons of that shit. So we're going to jump right into it. Man, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself to the people watching that don't know who you are. Just tell them your name and obviously where you're from.
My name's DJ. I'm out here in a little town called Mount Shasta, California, way up by the Oregon border. Did a good chunk of time, almost 18 years straight.
Damn, dog. You grew up where you're living now, or where'd you grow up at?
Yeah, I grew up here. There's a bunch of little towns in the county, and we kind of moved around as a kid, but mainly in this area, yeah.
Well, tell the people a little bit about what you went through growing up. Did you have a good home life? What was that like for you?
So home life was pretty. It was crazy. Mom was on drugs pretty much from when I was a young age, yeah. And then her and my dad got divorced. And, my dad got married again and had a couple kids with another woman, and was living their life. And I stayed with my mom, and it was crazy, man. A bunch of people coming through the house. And
yeah, I already know, bro. It's crazy, man. Everybody has the same story. My mom was the same way as your mom. What was the kind of crazy shit that would go on when you were with her as a kid?
Well, the crazy part is she did her best. I'll give her this. We never went without food, but there was always people over. I walk in and I'm shooting dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a lot for a kid to see, man. I've seen that too. And what did you think when you walked in and saw that going down?
I was so kind of focused. I kind of distanced myself from everything because I didn't want to really, really focus on everything that the negative that was going on. And I was a huge athlete in our little area. And so I just focused on sports, but I was man, my mom's messed up. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I said. I was almost sometimes embarrassed, man, because I never knew what she was going to do or say when we were out. And I know what you went through, man. But this ain't about me. It's about you. So when did you first start getting in trouble? Where did the path veer off the road? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we moved up from one little town to another, from a little town called Weed to a town called Wairika. It's just about 30 minutes north. And just started getting hooked up with, a different element. You know what I mean? I started not playing sports and just started smoking weed. I started doing dope at 15.
Dope as heroin or weed?
No, meth.
Oh, okay. Because it's different in every state. So
right.
You're 16 doing ice?
Yeah.
Damn, dog. How did that go down? Who introduced you to that shit?
Just some people I started hanging out with, going to parties and stuff, and I started shooting that stuff at 16 years old.
Damn, so that's one hell of a drug, bro. So how long did you manage to be shooting meth and not get arrested? When did you first get arrested?
When I was 15, I got arrested for assault. Just got into a fight and the kid's mom called the cops. And went to juvenile hall, was in and out of juvenile hall pretty much until after my 18th birthday.
What happened after you turned 18?
I actually did okay for a little while. There's probably 2 years where I didn't get in much trouble, just kind of stayed out the way, and then started using and selling again. And it just went haywire.
Yeah, that's a dead end road, bro. So did you go to CYA when you were doing your juvenile stuff, or was it just a separate place?
I went to a CYA camp, but for the most part, it was group homes, boys ranches, You know, just a roundabout placement for somebody that, you know, couldn't really go home.
All right, man. So, I mean, take me and the people through the night you got arrested for the charges that sent you to prison. How did all that go down?
So it was a couple different cases. It's kind of crazy. So the first case, dude came into our house trying to rob us, and I'm no teller, you know what I mean? So I just smashed him and just drove him and dropped his body off up on the hill. And, you know, he was in a coma for a while. And
bro, buddy, dumb as fuck, came to rob you and you're taking him in his car back up the hill. Bro, he had to feel dumb as shit when he woke up from that coma.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. And then, like, not even 4 days later, my co-defendant, my crimies, Connect came down and threatened to kill us because he said my crimey owed him money. I didn't even know the cat. And he said he was going to kill us for owing him money. So my crimey killed him.
Damn, dog. The dude that was in the coma, what did he have to do with all this? That was your crimey?
No, the dude in the coma didn't have nothing to do with nothing. I just met him one night and he said he had some weed and he came over and.
Oh, okay. So then where did the drama start with your Connect? Like, how did all that happen?
Oh, so my crimey said that he had a Connect that he's been getting his stuff from Washington. And I'm like,
when you say crimey, you're saying like co-defendant?
Yeah, my co-defendant.
All right. Some people may not know, so I just wanted to clarify that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So he said he had a dude that you know, got really good stuff and good weed and good dope. And, you know, we were gonna go into bit, you know, he's been in business with him. He wanted to bring me in. And I didn't know there was a lot of turmoil between the two. You know what I mean? And so when the dude came down and I met him, I found out that, or at least on his story, that my co-defendant, my crimey, owed him a whole bunch of money.
And he just killed the dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, the crazy part is we had over $100,000 counted out on the table for the dude to buy some more. And so I'm like, just take it out of there. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And my crimey, he kind of freaked out and killed
Was
him.
he like, were you guys spun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So people may not know what that is. That's when you're on meth for a long time and you're up for a while. Like, how long had you guys been up when this $100,000 deal's going down?
I've probably been up for about a week.
Oh yeah, man. You think everybody's out to get you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was handling stuff a little better than my crimey, but
yeah. He was all the way gone, man. Sounds like. When you were doing the meth, man, and that happened and your crimey, you know, murdered the dude, was police like, did it all get caught quick, or did he get rid of the body? And
he basically shot dude and turned around and looked at me with a rifle in his hand and said, "You need to help me right now." And I said, "All right."
You're next.
Right. So basically, you know, we got rid of the body, took it somewhere and lit it on fire, you know.
Damn, bro. So, all right, let me ask you this, man. I know that's like a big deal, bro. I mean, I've never lit a body on fire, but I've done some like crime stories on this channel, actually. Like, you didn't want to do that, right?
No.
Did you feel like if you didn't do it, that your life you were next?
Yes.
All right, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, we aren't he's not glorifying this. What was going through your head, man? Like, watching like a fucking body burn right in front of you, dead.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. The first thing that after he shot him, I just went to the window. I'm like, if cops come, I'm gone. I'm running. Like, I'm not here.
So you're in the house watching this go down outside?
Yeah, no, watching it go down in the house. Like, and then so we loaded up the body and took it somewhere else. And I'm just like, man, I can't believe, like, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah, it's all bad from here on out is probably what I would be thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the whole ride down to get rid of it, I'm just like, this is ridiculous, man. I'm retarded for this.
Like, how did he get caught for it?
They said that the last phone call that the guy made was from our area. That, you know, that was back in 2000 when cell phones were not as common. and you could ping it easier.
Yeah.
And so they said it was in our area, so they got a search warrant for our house, and they didn't find much evidence on the murder, but they found evidence of the dude I put in a coma.
Oh shit, dude.
And so we got arrested we had 10 pounds of weed, a half pound of methamphetamine, and a quarter pound of cocaine.
Bro, those are minimum mandatories, all of those.
I mean, out here it's a little different with drug cases.
Oh, okay. In Florida, you would have got life. Straight up.
Yeah, they hit me with the first one was 7 years. I pled guilty to assault with GBI, great bodily injury, and possession for sale.
And then so when they caught you for the coma and they caught him, is that how they put 2 and 2 together with the other case?
Yeah, basically, but it took them 3 years to arrest us on the murder. So I went to prison. He went to prison. He got out in 2002. In 2002, I was still sitting in prison doing my bid, and all of a sudden they came and arrested me on the murder, and he was already arrested.
So where did you go to prison for the coma guy?
I went to 2 different places. I went to Old Susanville, and then I was up in High Desert.
Like California's prison system is so different from Florida, and a lot of people don't understand the way we rock, out here. How is it in the California prison system? Like, if I go in there, if me and you go in together, we take the bus in, Bluebird, whatever, we get off. Like, what do we have to do once we get there?
Well, first thing is you got to find out, like, are you affiliated? If you're affiliated, if you're a skinhead, if you just run with your county, you got to find out where, what you're running with first. And then
what if
bring your paper.
Fuck it, I ain't with none of that shit. I'm going to go draw and fucking, gamble or whatever.
You know what? It's kind of crazy, man. Like, I thought you could do that. You can't. Like, it's all sharks, and then there's the fish. You know what I mean? And the sharks, they're all clicked up. You know what I mean? And the fish, they're going to get their stuff took. Yeah,
they're going to get ate. So I've watched another YouTuber, Wes Watson. He's out of California.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen Wes too.
Yeah. So is all that shit, like all that hype and rah-rah, is that like really how it is in there?
I'll tell you, California, I've talked to a lot of people that have been to different states, and they said there is no place as crazy as California. Buddy of mine.
Give me an example of when you were in California prison, like what was so crazy about it?
So, like, when you get down levels, it's not as crazy. When you go like level 2, level 1, it's a little bit more chill. There's some drama, but not as much. But on level 4 yards, like I was on a level 4 180, which is basically a security housing unit kick out. It's no hands policy. It means if it's bad enough to fight over, it's bad enough to stab someone over. So if you and your boy get into an argument and you get into a fist fight, you're probably getting stabbed for getting into a fist fight.
With the dude you're bumping?
Yep.
So you always got to have a knife on you then?
Always got to have a knife.
All right. And so did you rock out? Like who'd you rock out with? County?
I was a skinhead.
Okay. So like, what do you have to do? Like I don't really know a lot about like I know the kind of the philosophy. I've heard some of it. I don't even know if it's true. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't even know what you can talk about, but like, what's your programming like as a skinhead in the California Department of Corrections?
So 9 times out of 10, depends where you're at, but everywhere I was at, it's mandatory yard, doors open. You got to come out. You got to make sure that you're out there in case something cracks off, because it cracks off all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, mandatory workouts for skinheads. I mean, the regular like county white dudes, regular woods, it wasn't mandatory unless their people made it so.
Yeah. So, all right, man. So you go out to the yard, you're a skinhead. You have to stay like in your own area. Is that how that shit works out there?
Yeah. Cali's got designated areas. So like in front of one building, it'll be whites, other building, it'll be Southsiders, other building, it'll be blacks and Northerners.
Okay. How were your guys' numbers up when you were in there?
Well, when I was in Old Susanville, we had probably about 23 heads on the yard at one point. And
That
then
don't seem like a lot though. It
it's
is
not,
though?
but everybody rides together. Like if the whites kick off,
I get you. So the Woods and you are gonna tie flags to ride against like, whoever.
whatever.
Yeah. So in Florida, man, there's a couple white gangs and like Unforgiven. There's ABs that come here from other states and shit, and there's some skinhead groups too. Is everybody like in your like organization, Skinhead Woods, like every white boy has to be rocking, right? Like you gotta be throwing hands.
I mean, I've seen it where there was about to be a riot kickoff, and dude was getting out in a week, and he didn't get off because he was getting out. He ended up getting stabbed.
Dead?
No, just pretty much checked. They didn't kill him.
Damn, bro, that's
I mean,
crazy.
I think I've only seen like 3 or 4 institutional deaths. As far as all the stabbings I saw, only a couple of them passed.
Are you guys like controlling your own people more than you are at beef with like other gangs and shit?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, I mean, there's beef, and like when I was in there, like when I first got busted in the early 2000s, we were riding against the Northerners. Like it was skinheads and Northerners were always riding.
That's a big ass thing, bro.
Man, it was crazy out here for a while, and then it mellowed out. And then I was just done with the game. After a while, I was like, I'm good. But it got crazy out here with.
You meant like you're good with the gang and you don't want to like do that shit. You're done.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You can like do that. Be like, bro, look, I put my work in. I'm gonna go lay back.
No.
I didn't think so, bro. So what did you go through? How did that go down? Like you're like, yo, Jerry, man, listen. I think I'm gonna go retire.
So I came back to fight the murder case. And I kept going back and forth from county jail to prison. They take you back and forth until like the trial dates come. And then you sit there for a while. And, I just got to a point where I was like, I'm good. And they're like, you can't walk the line. You know what I mean?
So you had to go like what, SNY or some shit they call it?
I ended up going SNY, yeah.
Well, props to you for admitting that, man, because people seem to think like California does not have a lot of snitching going on. And I'm thinking in my head, well, if that's true, why are they building fucking prisons called SNY where everybody's going? They're only going there for one reason: snitching, chomo, or they don't want to rock like you, right?
What's crazy is the SNY. Like I always thought it was just nothing but creeps, like chomos and
that's the way the media portrays it, I think.
Right, but there's a lot of like dudes that are just done and just want to go home and be productive and succeed. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, if you're on the main line, you come home, you probably ain't going to be a success. You know what I mean? Because you're stuck in that gang lifestyle. And,
so you're putting in work on the street when you get out of prison too.
Yeah.
Like what, you got to start making them money and then sending it back? And
no, it's not so much like that. That's more like the Southsiders and stuff like that. I know they do that. It's more like, when it's time if it's time to ride for your people, you better be there.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I said I was done, the good thing is they told me, look, if you're done, don't step foot back in this world, because then it's on.
So they literally told you, like, if we find you in the free world, we're going to kill you?
No, because I mean, I've seen a couple dudes now, since I've been home. And it's a small area. Like this is a small town. And I've seen a couple dudes that I was down with before, and they basically were like, look, as long as you ain't in the game, we ain't going to mess with you. But the moment you step foot back in the game, like you're trying to be somebody, we're going to get you.
Well, you ain't trying to do none of that, right?
No, I serve God, man. I just sit out here, I work, take care of my family. That's it.
That's what's up, bro. Well, I'm proud of you, man, because a lot of people don't do that, man. So, all right, I want to know what it was like in the SNY buildings, bro, because there is chomos in there, and that had to drive you crazy, though.
It did. Like I learned, I'm never putting my pictures of my kids up. That's the one.
Fuck that. You ain't even looking at my cells, bro.
No,
get the fuck from around here.
But they make you sign a paper when you go SNY saying that you're not going to politic. And so, like, there's no paper checking. If you check paper, you're getting rolled up out of there.
And then where do you go?
The hole.
So then you're shooing it for the rest of the time?
That's what they said. I mean, I haven't seen many people go because most of the time they really done. They're really done with the game. But I've seen it. They do go.
So you find out who the are, and then what? You just like steer clear of them, and they know to steer clear of you.
They do. Like but you'll be shocked on who's creeps. Like I've seen people blasted like me, looking like they was, about the business for years, and come to find out, dude was in there for rape or child molestation after he gets out. Like I wouldn't even know if.
I've had that happen too, bro. It's crazy, man. I've literally like been tight with somebody and then found out like 3 years later, like, and I was like, dude, you never know now. Like, it's don't. Crazy.
No, SNY was super chill. The only thing that was scary is when you go to level 4 SNY, there's no rules. And so people are like, it's not like a main line where you go there and you got to meet with your people and you got to get permission to stab somebody, or people are just going crazy over there.
In the SNY yard?
Yeah, on the level 4s, because that's all the lifers that don't care. I mean, my first SNY, I went level 4, and I was like, this is bananas. I got to get out of here.
Damn, bro. So the SNY buildings are like that. So I can't even imagine what the main building's like.
Only on level 4. No, the main, though, is a lot about more respect. So you have to get permission to do a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And so, but SNY, you don't have to get permission. There's no rules.
That's crazy, man. All right. Well, so when they came back and hit your homeboy on the murder, I'm assuming they then came to the prison and hit you with it too?
Yeah, they arrested me at the same time.
So now you did your first bid. That was what you said, 3.5, right?
No, I didn't even do my full bid. They came halfway through my first bid and picked me up on the murder.
All right, man. So when you're in prison, all of a sudden they called you up to the officer station, and how did that go down?
Yeah, they just said, hey, you got to go down to R&R. R&R is receiving and release, so go down to R&R, and that's where you go to get your packages. So I'm like, did I get a package? And I get down there and I seen cops from my county, and they were like, under arrest
for murder.
And I was like,
What went through your head, man?